Hello and welcome to the channel of the Jupiter and Moon Project. And my name is Alexandra. And today we are here, Maren and myself, to explore a deck. We are going to be exploring the Fountain Tarot. Yay, here we go. Hello, Maren. So
Hi,
lovely to have you here. I'm
happy to
really looking
be
forward
here.
to this. Oh, yeah, really excited about this deck because you were the one who tipped me over to finally get it. I have been looking around this deck thinking, yeah, should I not? And then you used it some time ago and I thought, okay, I'm getting it. I'm
Mm.
definitely doing it. So here we are. Here
Here
we
we are.
go.
Sorry.
Okay, so let's just check in with the box.
The box.
The
Yeah.
box is a standard size. I think it's a standard size
Yep.
tarot deck. I like it. It's a bit shiny and glossy, and it has a bit of a rainbow shine to it at times. Um,
Has it this?
it's with a magnet flap, yeah. So it's quite sturdy. And
Yeah,
the
and it's what
outside,
I also like it's quite compact.
yes,
It's easy to travel.
absolutely, absolutely. I really appreciate that as well. It's
Yeah.
compact, and then it has the string, the band here, um, that you can easily get out your cards when they're in there. Yeah,
Which I really appreciate.
yes, because it's not always easy to get the
No.
cards out of boxes that do not have such a device in there. I really like the wording in the box. You are the voice and breath of the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
For
um,
what I think the packaging is quite, I think they thought really through. It's easy to handle, it's sturdy, it protects the card, it's
absolutely.
beautiful. You know, it's not in an indie deck. It's mass production, but it's you see the love they put in it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I really appreciate the quality of the packaging. Yeah, especially at this price range because it's a normal mass production deck. Yes. And yeah, so let me see, where was that card? It is a collaboration. There's four people that created this deck. Um, we have Jonathan Says, the creator. Then we have Jason Gruhl, the writer. Then we have Andy Torado, the designer, and Roost Books are the publishers. Sorry, so there's three creators and one publisher. Okay, so I probably didn't really pronounce the names right, but I'm sure if you decide to get the deck, you can look up the creators and artists here as well. Then there is a handy little book that fits into the box. So everything is compact. The cards and the booklet is handy in the box. Yeah, so each card is described on one page. There's no images of the cards in the book. So just one. Yeah, you've got a general meaning, a description of the card, then the meaning, and also the reversals. Yeah. So a jumping point for each card. And if you read, if you are an intuitive reader, I'm sure you will get a lot out of the symbolism in these cards and the colors, which we will be showing you in just a minute. And create your own meanings, especially then with the with some keywords also helping you along in the book. So, Maren, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I think I really like the book.
Mhm.
Because it put everything, it's easy to handle. Even if me as a beginner, it's very easy to understand the logic of this tarot deck. You have in the introduction, you have some examples for daily practice,
Mhm. Yeah.
spreads, the idea what the suits stands for, the symbolism of the minor cards, the general. It's very easy to dive in. It's not
Mm.
like, oh, you need to read a huge book to understand this universe. It's more like, okay, try it.
Mhm. Oh, that's good. Good.
Try it. It's a
Yeah.
toolbox. Here's a toolbox. Try it. Maybe you like it. And it's not like I still think it's like more like an inspiration. If you if this intro doesn't speak to you, you find your own way.
Yeah. Well, that's always true for
Yeah.
any deck you use. It's always important to create your own meaning as well.
Yeah. And I really like the subtitles of every card.
Mhm.
It's always a good, for me, it's always a good way to start.
Yeah.
When for example, Six of Swords, a new beginning. So, now I know where I have to look at.
Yeah. It's like a jumping point,
Yeah.
starting point, and then you can tell the story from there forward. Yeah. What is your new beginning and
Yeah.
what is coming into your life? Yeah, I mm. Yeah, the Nine of Swords, imagined misery. So yeah, that's a good way to put it. I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. I think I'm gonna yeah, keep that for my own interpretations. Imagined miseries. Okay.
Imagined miseries. And what I also like, I use my book a lot. As you can see this.
Mm-hmm.
And it still holds on.
Yeah.
It's also a good
Yeah.
quality.
Yeah, that's a sign of good quality, yeah.
I have books
Production.
where pieces of paper lying around and you glue it by yourself. That's not the case here.
Um, yeah, moving on to the cards. First of all, the side of the cards are silver. What I really appreciate is that they don't stick together, because some decks that have like the metallic edging, they tend to stick together, and then you have like, I'm gonna call it glitter and fairy dust everywhere. Oh, yeah, sometimes I appreciate that, but sometimes not so much. The back of the cards is really lovely. I think that's, yeah, one of the things that stuck out to me
Yeah.
and really called me into this deck. Yeah, I find that the colors really calming. It's, yeah, it suits my palette. I like it.
Yeah, it's muted. I like
Mhm.
it. I like it too.
Yeah,
And I like the glitter when it stays on the card,
exactly. Where it should be.
where it should be. When I want an Tinkerbell explosion, I find something else.
Outside. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
exactly, exactly. And here also, I think it's a very good quality.
Yeah,
It's like I think the people who created this deck know how to use a deck.
yeah, yeah. I think they use them. They, yeah,
They
know
practice
what's
the
important. I
material.
mean,
If
the stock is quite bendy,
yeah,
um, but it's not too thin, and it's really easy to shuffle because the cards are really lovely and smooth. They are, let me just, they are, yeah, really smooth and not at all glossy. So they're easy to handle, really. I I really appreciate the quality of the cardstock. Absolutely. Yeah. So at this price point, good quality deck. So, and good for beginners, as Maren was saying. While I was going through the deck myself, I was thinking, yeah, it sticks to the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith theme, definitely. And in some cards, it can be helpful if you know the traditional meanings. But to be quite honest, with the booklet and your own imagination and your own input, I'm sure you will find your way around reading the cards easily. So let's dive in. Let's look at some of the cards.
Yeah, maybe may I add something
Yes,
else?
absolutely. Go on.
When you come as a comparison to the classic tarot, it's a modern interpretation. You see that they try to adapt the modern technical world.
Yeah.
That makes, I think, several interpretation a little bit far away or different from the original one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. So the traditional meanings will just be a starting point again for you to look a little bit deeper in this deck, because there are different layers to it, especially with the color scheme that goes through the different suits and the gradation of the colors, and we will look into that as we show you the cards. Okay, so let's start with the Fool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's beautiful.
it
So
is.
innocent,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
freeing.
Yeah, I really love the color scheme. As I was saying, it's a bit cold, and you might think it is an icy landscape. So she's not wearing enough for this kind of landscape. But it is the message is definitely clear. Take that leap and take it with joy. So yeah, it is a lovely card
Lovely.
that brings across that meaning of the Fool. The innocence with the color is definitely the
Yes.
innocence. Would you
And
say
it's
that?
like, yeah, yeah. Also, it's like every time I pull this card, it's
Yeah. Yeah.
like a relief. So in the
Hmm.
pocket,
Yeah, it's a breath of fresh air. It
yeah,
is.
okay.
Bring something new into your space. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. So let's move on. Let's see. We have the High Priestess. Yeah. Very beautiful card. Let's just have a look at her. So she is sitting in the moon with the actual moon behind her. She's got a scroll in one of her hands, and she's veiled. Yeah, so there is that sense of mystery here, the black and the white, going from dark into light and light into dark again. I really, really appreciate this card. It brings across the message of the High Priestess. And I like her calmness. She's
Yeah,
very serene.
yeah.
Yeah,
And the eyes. I also like she's a little. I think she looks a little bit arrogant.
she does.
She does,
But
but
most priestesses actually do. I think
yeah, yeah.
even in the traditional one, she
Yeah,
is.
and I would also put it in a positive way. So
Yeah,
to know who
she
she
knows who she
knows who
is.
she is.
Absolutely, I agree. Totally. Yeah.
And in a world where female always gets said you have to be this way or that way or whatever,
Hmm.
it's a good impulse to see a woman knowing you can do whatever you want. I know who I am.
I know who I am. Absolutely. Yeah. Exploring the mystery of yourself. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Oh, let's see. Moving on to the Empress. A very beautiful card. A very beautiful card. Very lush. Oh, very fertile ground around, especially I really like this the color palette here.
Yeah,
The
the
green.
gardening, the Monet gardening in the
Yes,
is beautiful.
definitely very artist like Monet, as you're saying, with the water lilies. They are
Yeah.
water lilies. Um, yeah, she too stands in her power, definitely. She knows where she needs to be.
Yeah, but compared to her, she is so much more lovely and lovable.
Hmm. Yeah, she is. She's I think she's maybe not, yeah, easygoing, but she's a more outward kind of person.
Yeah,
Yeah. So inviting you in to join her
yeah,
in that
inviting.
pond.
The
Yeah.
high priestess is more keep the distance.
Yeah.
She's
Absolutely
come,
agree.
come, let's have a nice conversation.
Yeah.
And the funny part is when you look at it, it's not so obvious, but when you hold it in the camera, you see some kind of nearly some rainbow in the background.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. I noticed that as well. And I like that she's got like a halo around her as
Yeah.
well. So there's the light around her.
And the card feels warm
Hmm.
with the color palette.
Yeah.
It's like, as you said in the Fool, it's kind of cold. The
Yeah.
person
Woo.
ran up and she says, that's so warm.
Yeah.
Let's sit in the sun,
Yeah.
enjoy the garden.
This could be somewhere in Thailand. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay. So let's move on. We have the lovers. Do we have the lovers? No. Yeah, I think we
We
have
have
them.
the lovers.
Okay, we have the lovers. Hmm. A really nice interpretation here. These two people, uh, yeah, facing each other and being in their own sphere. Um, they don't, there's nothing coming in from the outside. So they're with themselves. I really, really appreciate this interpretation.
Yeah. It's like, and I think to put the light in the center,
Hmm.
they
Yeah.
touch their hand. It's like that. That's the energy. That's the
Yeah.
energy between them.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. A lovely interpretation
Yeah.
here. Yeah. Yeah. And then fast forward to the death card.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, so very ethereal. You can't really see the skeleton of the, yeah, when you actually look at the card and not in the camera, through the camera, um there's just a hint of a figure of that, of this, it feels to me, of this horse. So
Yeah, and it took me a while to figure out that this is a skull.
yes, it is. It is.
It took a while to say, here there he is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not so easy to see. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Mm. Yeah.
But what I like is it's a dark card.
Mm-hmm.
It's not threatening at all.
No, no.
The skull can also be the moon.
It can be. It can be, yeah. At
And
first
this
glance,
could
it is
also be a
actually.
gate
Mm-hmm.
and not woods. I think it should be wood. I'm not so sure.
It's wood, yes.
It's wood.
It's two trees coming together and building like a gate, as you said. A threshold. And that's what Death card is really stepping into a new way of being, releasing old things and, yeah, stepping into the new transformation. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, and it's also a little bit spooky.
It is. It
It
is
is.
a bit spooky. It is.
Do you know the German romance Schimmelreiter?
No, I don't. I don't.
Yeah, but it's
Okay.
I think it's Fontana. I think so. It's also a rider who lives on the coast and is responsible for its world and fails in some way and figures out another way to live.
Okay. Sounds quite similar to this card. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And just in case you're wondering why we're not showing all the cards, I think it's appropriate that if you decide this deck is calling to you, that you have some more to explore when you actually get the deck. And yeah, so here we go. We're moving on to the Tower card. I think this is one of the most interesting interpretations of the Tower card. I keep sitting with this one, and I think, Maren, you said there's so much light here as well, but there's also distraction,
Yeah.
evidently. But what's evident here that what needs to go is the top that's bringing the whole thing out of balance, and that just leaving you with the construction that is steady enough to be on its own
Yeah,
without tippling over.
and I'm not sure actually if the orbit is it's just mirroring each other.
It could be.
Could be, yeah.
It could be, yes.
Which makes the thing even more interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Hmm. Do you think so?
Yeah, not
Not
sure.
sure.
Not sure.
But really, it's up to your own interpretation here. But it is one of the a good interpretation of the
Yeah.
Tower card. I really like it.
I like it, and also not scary. I think that there are some decks where the interpretation is completely you're in shock quietly when you pull the card. But this is, I think it's a theme in the whole deck. I think there is no card where you think, oh God, the world is going down.
Mhm. Yeah,
There's always light in some way.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because the traditional Tower card is actually in the night, so it's dark. And here you have the light of day. So yeah. The Tower card. Okay, so let's move on to the world, bringing the major arcana to a close, or nearly.
Mhm.
Hmm. I really like the way she's sitting there and really relaxed, really relaxed.
Yeah, and I like that too. And I also like that she's so relaxed and also very close to herself,
Mm-hmm.
but she's naked,
Yeah,
which make her actually very vulnerable.
yeah,
But she
exactly.
does not look like.
Mm-hmm. No, she's not. She's not. I think she's learned from the priestess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Love
Lovely
it.
interpretation here as well. She's sitting on the world. And now we have a special card because this deck has a an additional card. It's called the Fountain. And you have that beacon of light here, which separates the two sides, the lighter and the darker side of tarot, representing that. When we go with the tarot being a representation of life itself, there's always light, and then there's also always dark times as well coming along, and they will pass and change into lighter times.
Yeah, and they also add the infinity sign.
Yeah, it's a constant motion,
It's a
constant
cycle
cycle.
situation, yeah.
And I think I'm gonna just let's see what it says about the fountain card.
In the book,
Okay.
there are 2 pages for it, and general introduction, and it's the last card of the majors also.
I'm taking the last card of the majors. So it represents the keyword is B, and it represents oneness and a moment of cosmic clarity, full awakening, the end of seeking, and some others as well. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
The end of seeking.
Okay. Fully awake. I like it.
Mhm. Great invitation there, absolutely. Yeah, so let's move on to the minors. We will start. So each suit has a bit of a color scheme. And what we've noticed is that it goes from the aces, the light, very light-filled cards, and sometimes then towards the middle or more towards the end, the cards get darker from the color scheme. So there's like a progression and the journey. You can see the journey that's happening. So let's see. We've got the Ace of Wands. Okay. So the colors here are more on the yellowy, orangey side, especially here, yellow, Ace of Wands. A more, a more traditional take on it here with that all the lights coming into one center point. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it is. It's very warm, very inviting, and yeah, I enjoy this card, especially the colors.
Yeah. And first I was a little bit surprised when wands is for fire. I expected more red, I think.
Mhm.
But it's quite a smart move to use yellow, which is always as warm, but it's not so aggressive.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, we have in the next card we're looking at, we have the more aggressive progression. We've got the Five of Wands, and we have
Not the
that
red.
fiery, darker energy going on here. Things not being in balance so much, being out of whack. Yeah.
Yeah, and what I also like, also I like this card, or others said it's an interesting interpretation. You focus on the wands, and the people are nothing less than shadows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see that.
Grounding is unstable.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Mm. So a fiery card.
Yeah.
Then we go back, well, we move on to the Eight of Wands, and the colors get lighter again, focusing again like the Ace of Wands on that one point, energy streaming into onto one thing. I like this card. Yeah, I like the focus of this card. Even the darker at the bottom, but it's getting lighter.
Yeah, and it's not really dark.
No, no. Overall, this card is very light. So we've come out of the darker Five of Wands and into the lighter Eight of Wands again. But in the Ten of Wands, we're back in the dark. So the light is only focused on yourself. And I really appreciate that, actually. So, yeah, it's shining a light on yourself and what's going on, and how you can unravel all of this, the wands that are here.
Focus,
And I
yeah,
think that's, go on.
and there the focus is on the human being. That's
Mm-hmm.
quite nice interpretation.
Yeah,
It's not on the surrounding or on the wands.
no, it's about him,
Yeah.
this person, getting things in order again. Yeah.
And actually, I think it's quite, it's one of the darkest cards in the deck, I think.
Well, yeah, I think we're getting to some other dark cards,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But it's one of the darkest.
Okay, then we have a very light card again. We're moving into the
Page.
court cards of this suit, and it's the Page of Wands. Very happy child here. Very, yeah, easeful, very, yeah, I'm lost for the word here right now.
Is it dancing?
I
The
think
child.
she is.
Yeah, she is.
She is.
She is. And actually, I think it's a warm interpretation of the fool.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, very good. Yeah. So yeah, so that innocence again, bringing in the innocence, this time maybe a little warmer than the full card in this deck, and just enjoying yourself, playing. Um, this is definitely an invitation to play. Play with the light as well, because
Yeah.
it's a very light card. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. We're moving on to the swords. The Ace of Swords. Drawing down the energy. There's an order here to the lines going on in the background.
I think so. That's why I was staring at it.
Yeah,
Is there a system? Kind
yeah,
of.
there is. There is. But it feels like the wand is actually cutting through it. Oh, sorry. So maybe bringing in a different perspective into the order that has already been established.
Yeah, and we have some lines here, which I think the sword is a source of, so it brings new information in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the color scheme. Okay, so the color scheme here of the swords is a more gray blue kind of thing going on, muted, getting darker again towards the end. But we know that the Uh, sword cards at the end aren't the prettiest.
Are not so nice.
Oh, okay. I think this is one of my favorite sword cards. It's the
Yeah.
Four of Swords.
I'm absolutely in love with the sparrow.
Yeah, it is. It is just delightful, to be
Yeah.
quite honest. So he's resting in the middle, but there's this, yeah, this little bird and this. I think the invitation is here to invite in the lightness again into your mind. Make it easy. Sing your own song again.
Yeah.
So he's resting. He's definitely resting in this card.
And
Yeah,
he's
as
quite
if.
comfortable.
Hmm?
He's quite comfortable.
Yeah, he is. He is. The swords are supporting him, and he's got one in front of him, maybe shielding him off a little bit. But yeah, other than that, I think it's a very enjoyable card. I
Yeah.
like this one. Yeah. And then we have the Six of Swords. Here we go. So we have a contrast of a bit dark, but lots of light again. The energy is forward motion. It's going into something new, leaving behind the dark, unclear waters, but heading into the lighter, more calmer waters,
Mm.
which is a traditional interpretation of this card. Done really well.
Yeah, and the goal is already there. There's the
It
island
is.
ground. And it's
It
very
is.
structured. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so off to the challenging Eight of Swords.
Nightmares included.
Definitely card of warning here
Yeah.
that you're not seeing clearly. And if that is so, you might be hurting yourself
Yeah.
or just, yeah, on the verge of hurting yourself. So
Yeah, and
not,
I like she's blindfolded.
yeah, so
Like it's
she's not seeing. She's not
seeing.
seeing the danger around her. Um, maybe with intention so that she doesn't have to see what's going on. What I like is that it's not quite dark yet, so there's still hope. There's
Yep.
hope in this card.
There's hope. And even the threat is, as it is said, that bright, there's some hope in it.
Mm-hmm.
It could be also be light.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wonder if she's surrendering or is she just calm?
Hmm. I think that's for everyone to decide for themselves.
Yeah.
And yeah, most of the time that is surrender is a type of calm.
Yeah.
You've decided. Okay, so I think we're going off into the darker side again. Nine of Swords. So this is definitely a dark card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though the figure is in a white cloth, the person is huddled up and warding whatever is coming off. And
Yeah, and the person cannot hide. It's attacking, whatever.
whatever is, it's attacking. You're right. Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
But also easy to read.
Yeah. And it's the first card, I think, in in the swords that I saw that had red in it. The
Yeah.
others have been muted, and so the threat, the red, is quite
Obvious.
obvious. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, so the Knight of Swords, when we look at one of the court cards here, I really appreciate the rainbow. So this is a cut actually from the color palette.
Yeah.
Before we had the muted and the very dark, and now we're back into a light-filled card, and especially this rainbow. I really like this rainbow.
Yeah.
I don't know, when I saw it, I thought of David Bowie.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, suits him.
mhm, embracing it, embracing the energy, the flow, and moving on. I really like this one. Yeah. Mhm. So then we have the Ace of Cups. Mhm. Yeah, it is a traditional take on the ace, the overflowing cup, not one single cup, and the cycle of flow,
Oh yeah.
flowing, coming in back into the cup, and then overflowing again. And there is a give and take here in this card. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's not just a cup, it's also like a fountain.
it is. It
Yeah, it is.
is.
Huh?
Yeah, it is.
Haven't noticed it before.
It is like a fountain. You
Yeah.
can see it up here a little
Yeah.
bit. So it's not just overflowing here from the cup, it's also circulating here. Mm.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. And then let's move on. So the color palette is blue for water. Also a bit muted and sometimes similar to the sword cards, actually, I thought. But the Three of Cups, like we have here, we have a little bit of a rainbow hue. So there's pastel colors, and I really like this card.
Yeah.
And the hands folding in together and the cups
The cup,
feeding
yeah. And
feeding
it's
each other. So
I like it that they ban it's like it's a harmonic movement.
yes, it is. Yeah.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then we have the Four of Cups. We're going a little bit darker here.
A little bit.
Hmm.
But it's not that dark than the other two cards we had before.
No,
No.
no, no. The light path is clearly to be seen. So, yeah, maybe just take a moment. Take a moment to regenerate and then move on.
Yeah, and I like that the person is nearly hiding between the boxes, not huddling or anything, just
Mhm.
got a little bit back.
Yeah, yeah. So a time of contemplation, I find this
Yeah.
card. Yeah. Mhm. Oh. And then we have the Six of Cups, which is very light again.
Yeah.
Lovely card. I really like this palette. And it reminds me of the Lovers card. We
Yeah,
have the
you're
two
right.
people in their sphere again. We have them exchanging, holding the cup. The Lovers card, there was the beacon of light that was being held in their hands. And here we have the cup, the exchange between the two figures here.
And I like they are in the very, it's like a microcosmos.
Yes, just like the lover's card, exactly. So, yeah, I'm just looking to see, because usually the Six of Cups is about the inner child, or yeah, the child self being in exchange here
Yeah.
with you can see here this is more of a younger figure than this.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah,
But this is not so easy to
it's
read.
not so easy to see.
Someone,
No.
this aspect is, you have to reveal it.
Yeah, you have to look a little bit closer. So if this deck speaks to you at all, then there's lots to explore in the cards themselves. Yeah, we have now the King of Cups. I like the way he is totally relaxed.
Yeah. And the cup is like a cup of coffee or something.
Yes. I just see. Yeah, a cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee and relaxed and
Even though the
chaotic in the background, but this person is relaxed
emotions are running high on the outside, maybe, but not in
inside.
himself. So
Yeah.
he's very centered and aligned with how he's feeling, and he can just let the outside world be what it is. Yeah, I really like this interpretation. It's quite the traditional one as well. Yeah. Okay, then we have the last suit, the Pentacles. Here we have a greener palette, which is fitting to the earth element, which is represented by the pentacles. I really like this card. I think it's from all of the aces, this is my favorite ace. Especially because there's these hands ready to receive
Oh,
this
yeah.
coin. Yeah, I can barely see it, but they are there. Yeah,
And
very
the
ethereal.
one, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah, there's a passage to walk, but at the end, there's your reward. Yeah. Then we'll move on to the Four of Coins. The scarcity card has no, it's not the scarcity card. Sorry, it's more of the here's the interpretation is the more of the scarcity mindset. Hiding away your coins from the outside world, somewhere completely remote where nobody can find them or see them. So, yeah.
You escape the world and are hiding in the
Yeah.
mountains.
But the coins here are probably not going to do you any good because
Yeah.
nobody's going to take them or nobody's going to exchange anything for them. So, think about it.
You're stuck. You're stuck.
Yeah, so I don't know what good these coins are going to be doing you here. Oh. Then we have the Seven of Cups. I find this, Seven of Coins, sorry. Great interpretation of tending to your crops, just letting them grow. And I think he's got just such a gentle way about him. He's really caring. And yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I really like this card.
Yeah, and it's like he's gardening actually.
He is. He is. Yes. Mm, mm. Beautiful card. And then we have one of my favorite cards, the Queen of Coins. She's also very serene. She's got maybe even a feeling of the High Priestess. So she's definitely, she knows who she is. She's very stable in herself. She knows all that she has created and how far she's come. And she knows how to tend to her surroundings. I really like this card, especially that tree in the background. The coin is revealed, but it's also protected by her. So she knows, I think for me, it's a feeling of she represents her wealth. She represents her worth in the world, and she's ready to show it and express it and be in exchange with the rest of the world. Yeah. How do you see this card?
Yeah, I'm stunned by all what you see in that. I like it. I like her so much because she's also very aware of what's inward.
Mhm. Mhm.
But also this I'm open for everything else.
Mhm. Exactly. Yeah.
That's what I like about her. Just
Mm.
the gardening in the background, the woods, or it's kind of. I was a little bit surprised because these plants are cut very correct. Very,
Very precise.
very
Absolutely. I was
yeah.
just going to say that as well. Yeah.
This is the fur. I mean, see, it's kind of irritating because
Hmm.
everything is so organic in this suit.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It's human made.
Hmm. Yeah. She's put a lot of work into
Yeah.
it. Yeah. And that's what she represents here. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, and to close off our feeling and our what we've noticed about this deck. So the Queen of Coins is one of the only, there's just a few, one of the only few cards in this deck that represent people of color, or different ethnicity, sorry. So we have the Hierophant, which could be person of color.
And we also have the page of coins, which could also be a person of color, in this case, an Asian person.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Or the nine of coins.
Yeah.
She is also a more Asian person here.
But I
So
think, go on.
no, go on.
I think that's also a theme of this deck. It's a very Eurocentric deck.
Yeah.
It's
Here we see the
yeah,
representation.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very white, very Eurocentric, European beauty standards.
Mm-hmm.
Which means if you look for something you feel more representative or you like more a diverse deck, this deck is not for you.
No. No, I'm sorry to say it is not. It is not. It has its own beauty. It has its own aesthetics. But I don't think it was created with diversity in the people. Mm,
And in mind. So
yeah, yeah. So that is probably the only flaw I can see. Um, Other than that, it is a personal exploration, like with every deck. And I really, really hope you enjoyed our little exploration. Maren, do you have anything else you would like to point out or discuss before we close the
Thanks
session?
for having me. I really enjoyed it. It was a
Yes,
fun
thank you for
adventure for
being
me.
here. And thank you for introducing me to this deck. So I'm glad I have it in my collection. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching. This has been such a pleasure to create for you. And yeah, I will see you in one of the next reviews and videos. Bye for now.